What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to another episode of the Dossier, the Marvel Crisis Protocol show, where we take a look at the various characters in the game, take a look at their model design, the cards, what they kind of bring to the table, and kind of share some thoughts from the channel on where we think they kind of work and don't work and all that sort of stuff. Remember, these are not meant to be a comprehensive thing. This is just meant to be a quick overview, maybe get you thinking about characters you might not otherwise have thought about. And of course, there are lots of great discussions online that you can go and check out and learn more about a lot of these characters. So I highly recommend that you do. And of course, none of this can happen without the wonderful support of the patrons. You too can be a patron and support the channel. Patreon.com/AegisBrand Studios, just a couple bucks a month, and allows us to keep all this content coming, stay current, and all that sort of fun stuff. Anyway, in today's video, we are going to take a look at Red Guardian, Nikolai Krylenko. And as usual, let's take a quick peek at his model here. So I gotta say, I actually really like his particular model. I like the pose. I like the simplicity of it all. You know, I like the fact that he's got the shield out, so it's got that nice sort of defensive look to it. Everything about it is just a really solid model. Like it's not the most exciting or dynamic model, but there's a simplicity to it all that I really like. There's a lot of really good definition in the suit and the skin. Oh, well, I guess not this really the skin, but the suit. Like there's some good definition in the muscles, even though there's that weird thing where it's like it's hugging the whole body there. The boots have some good definition, so when you're painting the white onto it, there's actually places where you can hit those raised points and everything like that. The lines where like the star is on both the torso and the shield are all nicely defined, so it's actually very easy to paint within those lines right there. He does have the tactical rock, which is a little unfortunate. It becomes a little dissonant when you look at the base itself. But overall, I actually really enjoy the Red Guardian model. I think he's for a very simplistic model, he's a great example of simple, not necessarily meaning less. And it really works for me as a result. I actually had a lot more fun painting this guy up than I thought I would, and yeah, he's been a lot of fun. So what about what he brings to the table, like with his card? So we got the Red Guardian. His stat line, he's got 5 stamina, medium movement, size 2, 3 threat, and he's 3/3/4 for his defenses. So it's kind of interesting to see that 4 mystic defense on him. Which, I mean, I dig. I think that's actually rather kind of cool. Just wasn't really expected, but for a 3 threat, a 3/3/4, I like it a lot. He does get 1 extra stamina on his injured side, so he does go up to 6 stamina, which is kind of nice. I kind of always prefer the other way, 6/5 as opposed to 5/6, but, that's neither here nor there. As far as his attacks go, he's got a physical strike, range 2, 5 dice, 0 power. It is a gainer attack, so he's going to gain 1 power for it. But it also has a size 3 push. You can push a size 3 character away short. Having that just on his basic strike is really kind of nice. It gives him a little element of control there, which you can't really complain with. And it can get some of the more pesky characters out of the way, which is really kind of cool. He's got a shield throw, range 4, 4 dice, physical attack for 0 power. It is also a gainer. It ignores line of sight and you can't get cover from it. And then has the wild ricochet, so you can choose another target within range 3 of the original target and be any distance from this character. And yeah, basically get an extra attack in there. So it's not the hugest attack at only 4 dice, but still it's plinking away, and it can be a great way of generating some power as a result. And I mean, never underestimate the 4 dice attacks. They can really pop up and surprise you sometimes. Then for his spender, he's got the Siberian Shield Slam, a physical attack, range 2, 6 dice for 3 power. If the target is size 3 or less after the attack, they can be thrown short. So there's no triggers on that one. It is just throw short after the attack is completed. If they're size 3, and that, I mean, that's fantastic. So between his push and the Siberian Shield Slam, he doesn't have to spend a lot of power, and he can kind of move some people around the table if he gets into the right position, which is actually really good. It's not to be understated. So he's got a very nice suite of attacks there, which I dig. For superpowers, he's got a reactive focused repulsion field for 2 power. When attacked by, or when targeted by a physical or energy attack, can use the superpower, and you can add blanks to your total successes. So basically it's a paid martial arts. Is essentially what it comes down to, and it adds an extra success to your defenses there, and can make him a little bit tankier than he would otherwise seem. Unfortunately, can't use it on the mystic attacks, but it's very similar to all the other sort of shields that we see on, like, Captain America and Sam and all that sort of stuff. So really, really solid. Again, he doesn't have a whole lot that he's spending his power on, so he'll usually have power to do this, which is really kind of cool. Then he's got an innate power, Red Guardian Suit. When the character is damaged by an enemy or allied effect, after the effect is resolved, if the character is not dazed, gain an extra power. I love this ability. We've seen it on a couple other characters, like Rhino, for instance. It is a great way to power up the character. It is kind of a shame he doesn't have a built-in bodyguard to take advantage of this more, because it would be a great way of gaining some extra power back as a result for it. But it means if you're going into Red Guardian and not taking him out, he's going to power up pretty quickly, which is not too shabby. Nothing really changes aside from his stamina on the other side. So, I mean, that's pretty much Red Guardian in a nutshell. Now, he does also have a tactics card called Comrades Keeper, and this is a great card. It's unaffiliated, it's reactive. When an enemy character targets an allied character within 3 of Red Guardian can spend 2 to play this card. You place Red Guardian within 2 of the allied character. He now becomes the target of the attack regardless of range and line of sight. And if he suffers damage from the attack and is not dazed, you can throw the attacking character away from Red Guardian. So a couple things to note here. It's basically Heroes for Hire that he pays for as opposed to the other person paying for. But because it has the unrestricted size throw attached to it, I mean, you could be throwing a size 4, size 5 character away from Red Guardian, which is really, really solid. It's not to be discounted. I mean, it's only once, but sometimes once is all you need. The other really nice thing is that it gets him positioned across the board as well. Like range 3, that's 6 inches right off the hop, and it's a great way of getting him into the fray where you really kind of want him. Maybe set him up for a Siberian Shield Slam or something like that. So where does that leave Red Guardian overall? I think Red Guardian's a fantastic character. I think he works really well in Winter Guard, where the leadership also allows him to shake a condition and has a 50% chance of not being pushed around if contesting an objective. But as 3 threat, he's also a really solid splash. He doesn't take up a lot of threat at all. He can generate power reliably. He has that shield throw. So, from range 4, you can be plinking people with the shield and just kind of hanging back a little bit. And just in general, he brings some good utility. Comrades Keeper is a great way of protecting various characters, making sure that they stay on the table at least for an extra activation. But because there's the displacement as part of it all, like you can maybe stop somebody from potentially double tapping that character. So there's some really good use in Red Guardian. I think he's a fantastic character, and I think he fits into a lot of affiliations, especially affiliations where you can get him up the board and into a position where he can start making use of his spender or even his strike, just to start pushing people around. So yeah, there we go. That is Red Guardian. Let me know what you think about him in the comments down below. And of course, if there's any characters that we haven't examined yet that you would like to see, let us know, because we are trying to move through the whole roster here. And we will see you next time. Happy wargaming.